Even when looking through the official police records, something seemed strange because on February 17, 2020, just 48 hours before he passed away, Pop Smoke was hanging around New York rapper Fivio Foreign before taking a plane back to Los Angeles. Did you know that the moments leading up to Pop Smoke's death were so unsettling that many people thought it was a hoax? One tweet even read, "Hollywood is so scripted, I don't believe the Pop Smoke case one bit because he got rich off rapping and just wanted out of the game."
I woke up, I guess like it had happened overnight. And it's crazy as I was just with him the night before. He flew out that night, went to LA, and then it happened. So I'm like, automatically, I'm like, it's fake.
As stated in the official police paperwork, Pop Smoke would rent an Airbnb in Beverly Hills after realizing he needed a place to stay. The next morning, February 18, Pop Smoke posted a picture of the mansion on Instagram, tagging Beverly Hills. Police are investigating Pop Smoke's Instagram, claim that the same individuals who committed the crime all viewed the same Instagram stories and sent them to one another via DMs in an attempt to determine why he was unaware that people were following his every move in the hopes of robbing him and making him wealthy. They ended up finding out exactly which house Pop Smoke was staying at because they saw this post from inside the mansion, which confirmed that he was in Beverly Hills. Pop continued posting about his day online, from getting a haircut from his barber to even being posted by the pool in the afternoon. But it was his next post that made the hitters really decide to target him because Pop Smoke was dressed in designer clothes, and the next slide showed him and his longtime best friend Mike D holding piles of cash, which further attracted Pop Smoke's attackers. Would share a picture of their lavish lifestyle that they had become so enamored with flaunting their wealth that it exposed not only the front of the house they were staying in, but also the 3 digits of the home address. Pop Smoke's hitters now had to figure out the first digit and the street. For some reason, Pop Smoke and his team were awful at concealing his location on this particular day, as it would only get worse later in the night, according to police records. Pop Smoke spent the evening shopping, and upon returning home, Pop relaxed at the crib and shared this picture of a vista at night. Just 6 hours before Pop's death, this was timestamped to be around 10 o'clock at night. 30 minutes later, Pop received a gift, and you had thanked designer Mike Airy on Facebook for delivering some fashionable clothes. But what M. Airy was unaware that Pop Smoke's address was placed directly on the front of the bag. Pop Smoke just displayed his complete Facebook page, which included the address that was printed on the tag.
Wait. Mike and Mary, Mike and Mary. Billie Jean, Billie Jean. Good looks, Mike and Mary. Gifts.
The Fed's investigation revealed that the Roberts had stopped sending each other messages on Instagram and had instead set up a FaceTime group chat where they would all sit and laugh that Pop Smoke had simply given them the address. According to reports, one of Pop Smoke's managers did ask him to remove the post after realizing after a few hours, but it was too late before anything even happened. During his absence, Pop Smoke did leave the house and travel to East West Recording Studios, which were only a few kilometers away. According to reports, a black BMW drove by the mansion and pulled over just down the street. Security cameras caught the BMW's passenger slipping around the rear of the house for 2 minutes, then getting back in the car, and they drove off with Pop, eventually arriving at the recording studio. After being home for a while, Mike D and a woman named Amelia Rose got into the Range Rover, and Jen drove back to the crib with Rose and Pop. However, after a while, Mike D ended up going down the hall into a different room. The set-in would arrive at the house at around 4 o'clock a.m., with the headlights off, and 4 shadows would emerge from. The car drove down the side of the house, and they sneaked into the backyard. Pop was near the bathroom, taking a shower, and Rose was lying in bed when the 4 men suddenly rushed into the room, wearing ski masks, telling her to be quiet. Pop Smoke would then pour into the bathroom, where they were pointing firearms at Amelia Rose, while the other 3 men hurried into the bathroom. Toilet following Bob smoking, Rose reported to the detective that she heard a struggle, followed by a loud popping sound of a fire, and then Amelia Rose started screaming even louder as the 2 intruders continued to pursue Pop Smoke. When Pop realized his life was in danger, he got up and attempted to flee down the stairs, but Rose would hear him. 2 other Pop songs, Mike D was just waking up when he heard a gunshot. After checking into Pop Smoke's room, Mike discovered them at the bottom of the stairs and called 911 as if he hadn't heard the massive altercation for the previous 5 minutes. Pop Smoke had tragically died with the robbers and fled the scene.
Hello? PD, what are your numbers? Hello, it's the fire department. I know, but you're not talking. We're already on the way. Give me your... Are you in a safe place, sir?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unknown, okay. They're on their way.
After that, medical personnel would hurry to the scene and take him to the hospital center, but he unfortunately didn't make it.
4:55 this morning, multiple LAPD Hollywood units responded to a call at 3 Hercules Drive in the Hollywood Hills was being broken into by multiple suspects, and that one of them was with a... When officers arrived there, they discovered inside the house and transported that to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced.
The detectives began their investigation to determine the culprit an hour later, and what they discovered was unsettling. The BMW and Infiniti Saiyans were both spotted by detectives, who checked the DMV records and discovered that they were registered to Corey Walker, a 19-year-old man. Since Corey was a person of interest, a judge would issue a warrant granting detectives access to his Google account, where they would find a very interesting search history. According to his account, just 2 hours before committing the crime, he researched the address of the house and even went to the LAPD's website. He then downloaded the Zillow app, which is a real estate website, and looked up the address, trying to look at all the doors and entrances. This gave him and his team all the pictures they needed to see the inside of the house and where. The master bedroom was expecting Pop Smoke, and they were correct. His next search would take place at approximately 5:15 a.m. Mike D would look for a Rolex Oyster date barely 20 minutes after he dialed 911. This is the identical watch that they took from Pop Smoke. After robbing Pop and killing him, they received a watch that was worth $33,000 because they were unable to just go out and sell this to anybody. Pop Smoke's name was inscribed on the back, so the buyer got a great deal for what it was truly worth, as long as he didn't call the police. However, this also means that the 4 teens destroyed their entire lives for a total of roughly $500 each, even though their internet records were extremely dubious. Law enforcement didn't have any concrete evidence of this until the 15-year-old was arrested for unrelated offenses. Would blow the case wide open. Detectives had him on a person of interest list, so when he was brought in, they set up recording devices in his jail cell so that he could be heard confessing to his cellmate that he was involved in the robbery of Pop Smoke and that he was the one who actually committed the crime. In an attempt to appear cool in front of his new cellmate, he ended up snitching on himself, and shortly after that, the driver was also arrested. Revealed to his cellmate the same stories, giving the impression that they were extremely proud of what they had done to Pop Smoke. They claimed that they had no intention of stopping Pop Smoke, but when he refused to back down, they were frightened and attacked him. 18-year-old Keinder led the charge into the crib, while 19-year-old Corey Walker remained in the car during the robbery. Both were accused of passing Pop Smoke and continuing to await their trial. However, the other two, ages 17 and 15, all admitted to their involvement and, because they were under the age of 18, received very light sentences. The 17-year-old, who is now 20 years old, was only given a 4-year sentence in a detention facility, while the main perpetrator, who was 15 years old, is anticipated to remain in a state juvenile facility until he turns 25.